said that sooner. Alright, tell me about that then. Yeah, finally. Now I present to you my unshakable claim. It will prove to you just how unrelated she is. I'll reveal the truth to you so much that I've run out of words to reveal with. But before I do, I have one thing to say. What now? There's a certain favour I want to ask of you, Mr. Japanese attorney. When you go home, I want you to tell your friends, or your friends' tales of the London officer's spirit. Sorry, but I only just arrived in London, so... Please, I'll let you borrow this if you promise to read it from cover to cover. I swear, it'll move you to tears. Alright, fine, I'll take it. I got the police handbook. Includes a small section called Things to Know as a Constable. Doo-doo-doo. This is because her window is actually an awning window. Oops, didn't want to do that. Okay. And that means that the window couldn't have opened all the way, right? Exactly. It's a window for letting in some air. It won't open very far. As such, if an item were to fly out of the window, it would hit the window pane and fall to the ground below. If you check the map, around here is where any given object would fall. What if they were on that side of the street? It's on the opposite side of the crime scene, I see. Yeah, I have a feeling that's where they actually were walking. I wish I knew about these awning windows earlier. Oh, by the way, I have a question for you, Pat. What is it, sir? How did you even know about the window? What would lead you to know that Mrs. Garrideb's window was an awning window? Oh, that's easy. Yesterday I assisted with the I assisted with the investigation. Every time that happens it scares me. Question. Okay, I can question Roller. Excuse me, Roller. Yes? Why do you look so happy right now? I was just thinking. The two of us. Really are lucky, you know? What? I mean, it's a shame that the lady got stabbed, but... the crime happened just outside of Pat's beat. Is that so? Yeah, you could say Briar Road is the border between beats. Isn't that right, Pat? Oh god. Whenever she talks, he falls asleep. Pat? Yeah, right. Actually, the reason I helped investigate the Garrideb residence yesterday is because that area is part of my beat. Wow, it really did happen right on the border. Pat, I'd like to confirm something with you. Which beat does the footpath just in front of Mr. Garrideb's home belong to? Oh, the Garrideb home? That would be my beat, ma'am. It's the first I've heard of this. If the lady had been stabbed on the other side of Briar Road that night, there's no way we would have made it to our anniversary dinner. Pat has to do his job after all. A commendable work ethic indeed. That's just what we expect from our constabulary. Pat always works so hard. It must have been God watching over him this one time. Don't you think so, Pat? Yeah, I think you're right. I should probably keep track of all of this information. It sounds like it is the street just outside of the Garrideb residence. Yeah, I'll take care of that. Case materials have been updated in the court record. Location where the victim collapsed was just outside of the border of Constable O'Malley's beat. Alright, now I'll do the talking. If something was flying through the air, Pat wouldn't have missed it. But the sun had already gone down, right? It should have been dark at the time. We were walking around looking for a happy star. Or what? A star that would guide the two of us to happiness. Huh. If a flaming book happened to fly overhead, it probably would have looked something like a shooting star. Let me tell you, if I saw a shooting star, I would have wished 3 times over that Pat would become the chief of police. But due to all the fog and smog, we couldn't see any stars at all. In short, not a single knife or book flew overhead before the crime. Right you are, sir. I swear it on the starless London sky. Ugh, he really doesn't seem like he's lying. I don't think he can. Just after we witnessed the crime, the two of us rushed to the scene. I wasn't very close to the crime scene, but Pat was watching over it like a hawk. You ran to a police box for help, right? Yes, that's right. I know where all of the police boxes in Pat's beat are, but... There we go. It's not her fault she doesn't know where they are in any other beat. Pat told me where to go, but I got a little bit lost. Rolla, my love, you're so cute when you're lost without a clue. Just shut up already. Anyway, thanks to that, it took about 15 minutes before I came back. But Pat was watching over the scene the whole time. I was off duty, but I still did the job. For I am a patrolman. Oh boy. I didn't blink or look away for even a second. Nothing out of the ordinary, sir. There was nothing out of the ordinary at all. Right, sir. I was keeping an eye on the crime scene the whole time. No person, animal, or thing got anywhere close to it. I swear it's the truth, or my name isn't Patrolman Patrick O'Malley. But that's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? I'm perfectly normal. The Adventure of the Lion's Mane was supposed to be in Mr. Garadev's home. How did this burnt book end up in the victim's grasp? If you were watching like a hawk, then you must have noticed something, right? Maybe it just happened to be a different burnt book. But you still have to wonder why the victim would be holding it. She was carrying a bag on her shoulder, after all. By the way, when I found her, she was already holding the book. I see. There's something strange about this testimony. Somehow the knife ended up in her back, and the book ended up in her hand. I feel like these two mysteries must be connected by some thread. Mr. Attorney, how about I ask you a question? Sure, what is it? You're doubting our testimony again, aren't you? Huh? Oh, no, I wasn't really. Here we go again. Let me just tell you one thing. Don't underestimate me just because I'm a girl. I am the wife of a police officer, so my testimony is totally trustworthy. Right, I just... No, I don't want to hear any more excuses from you. Ah, I guess I'll just have to keep talking if I want to convince you. Do you mind, my lord? Do as you please. Add to your testimony if you wish. Not that I could ask you to do otherwise. The judge was muttering something just now. Listen up real good. And you better get a clue this time, you stupid Japanese guy. Even if I let your rudeness pass, Pat's gonna lock you up. Yes, ma'am. Speak to your heart's content. I wonder what she plans to say now. Fuck knows. No. So my eyesight is the best, I'm just not great at directions, that's all. Wait, so why is that there? Why are there 6 statements? Oh! So that's now become statement 5. Okay. It's not that I doubt your testimony, it's just... Stop right there, I saw everything, okay? The mustachioed Japanese guy just dropped his books and scampered away like a bad cat. Right. And I definitely didn't see that... What didn't... Wait. Oh. I definitely didn't see what didn't happen at that. There weren't any burning books or nasty knives flying over Briar Road. Yes, yes, I get it. But... Didn't you just say that you have a bad sense of direction? Yeah, I do. It's a bit embarrassing. Pat always gets mad when I'm late for our dates. Whoa. I can question Pat now. Ho 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 ho! Pat, may I ask you something? Oh my god, get up. Huh? Oh, yes, let's go where? Did something about your wife's testimony strike you as odd? Ah, well, yeah. Now that I think about it, it happened that night too. Hmm? Then Roller got herself lost on the night of the crime. She went to the next beat over to find a police box, but it took her a pretty long time to come back. I thought she would return within 10 minutes. In the end, it took her about 15. Aw, Pat, quit bullying me. It was all that bouquet's fault, not mine. The bouquet? What is this about, a bouquet? It was an anniversary present. My darling Pat gave it to me. He was picking up coins during his patrols for weeks and weeks just so he could afford it. That's a very romantic story, I guess. I'd totally forgotten about that bouquet until now. I'm sorry, sweetie. Huh? Oh, it's fine. But that bouquet's a matter for the two of us to handle in private. We shouldn't talk about it right now, okay? Wait. Huh? Aw, that's disappointing. Okay, that's odd. What in the world was that? Pat was clearly very shaken about something. Something with the bouquet. Well, I cannot say I know why. But I think we should press Roller about that bouquet. Roller, about that bouquet. Could you tell us a little more about it? She can't keep her mouth shut, so... Sure, why not? He's getting irritated. I ended up getting lost because of the bouquet I dropped. You dropped a bouquet of flowers at the crime scene? Right. I was really out of it at that point. I saw someone fall over. When we rushed over to help, we found a knife sticking out of her. I was so shocked that I just dropped my bouquet on the spot. It was too far from the light of the gas lamp, so it was hard to spot. That's when you ran over to the next beat's police box, right? Right. I came back to the scene with the police officer in tow. I saw where I had dropped the bouquet on the footpath, but when I went to go get it, the corpse was gone. It's already been mentioned many times, but the victim is not yet a corpse. I was really confused until I heard a heroic voice calling from the other side of the road. I suppose that was Pat. Yep, in my clumsiness I came back to the wrong side of the street. But this time, it was the bouquet's fault. To think that it ended up there. So the bouquet moved to the opposite side of Briar Road, huh? A strange story indeed. And in the end, I forgot to go back and get it. You don't know how much change Pat had to pick up off the street just to buy me that. When you say bouquet, might it perhaps be this? It's a rose, that's not a bouquet. Ah. That's it, that's it. That's the bouquet Pat bought me with all the change he picked up off the street. I think it's best if you don't keep telling everyone that part. Where did you find this bouquet? According to an officer's report about the crime scene, it was found at the corner of the footpath, in front of John Garadev's residence. It was in front of Mr. Garadev's home? Because it was in an area far from the gas lamps, it wasn't found until the next day. The police believed it to be unrelated to the crime, as it was on the other side of the road. I wonder if someone moved the body. Thank you so much, Mr. Prosecutor. I'll be taking that back right now. For now, I think it would be better for the court to accept this as evidence. Huh? Bouquet has been filed in the court record. A gift from Pat to Roller. When she saw the victim on the ground, the shock caused Roller to drop the bouquet. Stop calling it a bouquet, it's just a rose. But the only evidence in that bouquet is the evidence of our love. You better give it back later. I'll scream if you don't. Yes, ma'am. I won't forget. Jesus. So I didn't blink or look away for even a second. Nothing out of the ordinary, sir. Wrong, though. The bouquet wasn't with the body. But more so, the thing that's out of the ordinary is the fact this moved. When you were watching over the crime scene, there was nothing out of the ordinary? That can't be right. What do you mean? Roller, you said the following in your testimony. When you returned from calling a constable at a nearby police box, you saw where you dropped the flowers, but the victim's body was nowhere to be seen. In reality, the victim's body had fallen on the opposite side of Briar Road. Such a tiny bouquet, and really, not even a bouquet at that. I imagine that it was simply blown across the road by the wind. It's tiny! Let's say you're correct. If so, why didn't Pat testify as such? Nobody approached the scene, and nothing was removed from the scene. That's what Patrolman Pat said, proudly and without hesitation. But that bouquet was mine. It had nothing to do with the stabbing. That's the only reason he didn't say anything about it. It's not just the bouquet anymore. In this mystery, there's been a very peculiar reversal among the evidence. Reversal? That's right. It was Roller's bouquet, and Mr. Garadev's book. Originally, when the Adventures of the Lion's Mane was thrown from the Garadev's window, it should have smacked against the awning window and fallen to the west side of the road. But in reality, it was discovered in the victim's grasp on the opposite side of Briar Road. And on the other hand, Roller's bouquet, originally it must have fallen on the eastern side of Briar Road, but in reality, it was found on the opposite side of the road, near the Garadev home. This is an absolutely impossible outcome. That is, unless someone picked them up and switched them. What in the world? What's wrong with you? It's like you're trying to make Pat out to be the bad guy. She's right, we can't listen to that demon attorney anymore. The book, the bouquet, who cares? It's all trivial little details. Looks like Mr. Garadev's wife has come back to life. No matter how trivial you think it all is, messing with the state of the crime scene is a crime in itself. It's called tampering with evidence. And the person who tampered with the evidence won't come out and tell us why. It must be because they're trying to hide the reason that they did it. Tampering? I see you're excited to have learned a new word. And just who do you think bothered to play this pointless little trick? On the night of the incident, someone tampered with the evidence. All of the evidence and testimony points to only one person. Yeah. Now, the court demands an answer, attorney. Who is this one person that could have possibly tampered with the evidence on Briar Road? Oh. I don't want to point it to Pat, but it seems it's the only one. Sadly. Yeah, Patty O'Malley. Hang on. I never actually looked at the policeman handbook. Things to know as a constable. Keep the peace within the area designated as your beat. Patrol 20 miles every day so that London's citizenry may know peace. If an incident occurs in a constable's beat, he must lead the investigation. When he discovers an incident, the constable must assist in the initial investigation. Oh, it's just outside of his beat. I wonder if that's why he moved it. Because the incident occurred outside of his beat. Maybe. Yeah, that person would have to be Patrick O'Malley. There's not a single other person who could have done it. What? A constable of London's police force? Don't be ridiculous. How could you accuse him of that? Pat is a defender of justice. He's a policeman who serves to protect the people of London. Well, serves and protects. Roller. When Pat asked you to go to the police box, you left the crime scene. That span of 15 minutes was the only chance for anyone to tamper with the evidence. He was also on the other side of the street. No way, you're just spouting nonsense. I mean... That's right. It was that guy with the mustache. He did it. He would have no reason to. If that was true, then Pat would have witnessed it. I'm sorry to say this, but there's more evidence to the contrary. It was only after the defendant ran away that you dropped your bouquet. But... First, you indict the landlord couple, and now you're brazenly accusing a constable of London. But your accusation is missing one essential element. You claim that he tampered with the crime scene, but you see, only someone who was hoping to hide something would commit such a crime. He'd be hiding the fact that it's outside of his beat, and he shouldn't have been... I get the feeling that they can't investigate if it's outside of their beat. I'm guessing. Yeah, that's right. We just happened to witness a crime. Why would we have anything to hide? For what purpose would he have to tamper with the evidence? As long as you can't provide an explanation, your accusation amounts to nothing. Pat must have had some reason to tamper with the evidence, and that reason must be the key to solving this mystery. Now, Rahoda, do you think that you've figured it out? I may have. An indictment towards a London constable. You'd best hope you're onto something here. If you're wrong, this could be a lethal blow to your reputation as an attorney. Keep that in mind as you formulate your answer. Understood. When he tampered with the evidence, Patrolman Pat was trying to hide... where the book dropped, where the victim was stabbed. Yeah. Think of where the victim was stabbed. Pat desperately needed to hide the truth of where she was really stabbed. What? Huh? What do you mean by where she was really stabbed? That doesn't make any sense. We've already known that since the trial started. She was stabbed on the footpath by Briar Road. Pat and I saw it. See, right here. Everyone agrees with me too. Sure, everyone may have believed that at first, but the truth of the matter is, Viridian Green was not stabbed at this location. Huh? What? Wow, he's still shot. Baron, Van Zieks. My word, what kind of twists and turns will this trial take next? Japanese boy, you have further explaining to do. Explain your assertions. Where was the true scene of the stabbing? Duh. Right here. The left-hand side. That's... You say the crime actually occurred on the opposite side of the crime scene? What are you implying? On that night, when the book was thrown from Mr. Garadev's home, it fell straight to the ground. The bouquet of flowers that Roller dropped didn't move at all. What really moved was the scene of the crime. What? What in blazes? Ay ay ay. It looks like you haven't been listening to the testimony so far. These two fine citizens witnessed the very moment of the crime. He's right, we totally saw it. It was 5 o'clock in the evening. The sun had already set, and London's famous fog rolled in. When you two witnessed the crime, you actually ran straight toward the western footpath along Briar Road. No way. That can't be right. Pat entrusted you with the task of finding a constable, keeping you away from the scene. And in the 15 minutes between then and your return, he moved the crime scene. The victim's body and the fourth book, as shown in this crime scene photo, were both moved to the eastern footpath of Briar Road. Unbelievable. I'm still gonna say that it's because it was outside of his beat initially. And that would have gotten him in trouble, maybe? But Pat overlooked one detail. Or one minor detail. Overlooked what? The bouquet. Would you be referring to this bouquet? Yes, that's correct. Earlier, the prosecution said something about the bouquet. Because the bouquet was far from any lamps, it wasn't discovered until the next morning. He overlooked it because it was too dark to see. Or too dark to see then. Thus, only this bouquet remained. It was the only remnant of the crime scene left on the west side of Briar Road. Those are the defence's thoughts on the matter. Did I hit the mark, Patrick O'Malley? Oh, sorry. Really, so sorry. Here I am, sleeping at a vital moment. But you see, I haven't slept in a full month. Pat? He's lying, isn't he? That attorney can't be right. Pat, you've always fought so hard for justice. I was dreaming. I had an awful nightmare. I dreamed that everything I did that evening would be found out in court. Uh-oh. Oh no! He's admitting to it. But I guess it wasn't just a dream after all. What? What in blazes? Yeah! Order! 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 What in blazes? What in the world is going on here? This is just... Pat, why? Why would you do something like that? Isn't tampering with dead bodies a crime? She still doesn't know that the victim's not dead, I guess. Constable, what? Why on earth did you do that? You're supposed to be an upright policeman, working for the sake of the citizenry. Why? I can't tell you why. What do you mean you can't? I'm really sorry. This is all my fault. I've sullied Scotland Yard's good name. One possibility does come to mind. No, he does not like the fact that I'm spouting stuff. On that night, there might have been a good reason that Pat had to move the crime scene. Impossible. How could you know why? A damn Jap like you knows nothing of the inside of a good London constable's mind. I do though, because I have the police handbook. Say what you may, but our attorney is the one who brought the truth to light. Ah, screw you, buddy. The court believes that there is worth in asking for his thoughts. Defense? Sir. Now, the court requests that you present evidence. Understood? Whether they be British or Japanese, all people share the same feelings. And I think I'm beginning to understand Pat's feelings from that night. What evidence reveals the motive for Patrolman O'Malley's deceit? Oh, that's not the burned book. The police handbook. Maybe you're right. To you Londoners, I'm just an outsider. And because of that, it wasn't until today that I learned about the London Constabulary. It's one of the most noble, yet demanding duties in the world. They patrol the city to maintain order, all the while doing odd jobs to support our citizenry. Yet those young constables are driven by the many duties they must undertake daily. But for Pat, that fateful night was a special time. Special. And it's this bouquet which makes that fact very clear. The anniversary. That was for our first anniversary. Pat did all he could to prepare a gift for such a special day. And the two of them went out for dinner to celebrate their anniversary, but then they came upon the crime scene on Briar Road. They witnessed a young woman fallen under the gas lamps in thin fog. What do you think was going through Pat's head at this moment?